Good afternoon, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with another puzzle in the Sudoku Retro series, or the Retro Sudoku series, or whatever I'm calling it. This puzzle is from October 2020, so not quite as old as the last one, which was very old. This is Little Liar, Little Killer by Akash Doulani, and this is one that Akash, who watches my channel, saw the retro series and went, I've got one for you that I think you'll like. Yeah, ambiguity and Little Killer, two of my favorite constraints. Willing to give it a shot though. So yeah, I love doing older puzzles. So this one is what, 4 years old? No, not quite. Yeah, over 3 years old. So I love the fact that, as I said, I've said before, the reason all of this has started is because I did a puzzle on the channel that was like over 12 months old, and I got a couple of comments from people, which was basically, why would you do old puzzles? Like, only new stuff is cool. And I immediately wanted to balk at that concept. So it's like, let's do old puzzles and show that some old puzzles are phenomenal. And the last one I did was 15 years old and was stunning. So yeah, let's give this one a look. Liar, Little Killer. Anything else I want to call out first? Oh, go check out the community section. Voting is happening to still work down toward the grand final as of time of this being released. So we're now at the point of voting on the successful puzzles from the first 8 rounds are now being voted on to see which of those is going to continue on. So good stuff. Liar, Little Killer by Akash Doulani. So the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, we need to place the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. Clues outside the grid are all liars. Yay! They are either one less or one more than the sum of the digits along the corresponding diagonal direction. So, for example, these 3 digits will sum to either 21 or 23. They will not sum to 22. It'll either be 21 or 23. Similarly, these 3 will either sum to 4 or 6. Well, that one I can tell, but I'll wait until I'm solving. Numbers may repeat along the corresponding diagonal direction of the outside clues. So, for example, along here, which will sum to either 13 or 15, I may have repeat digits. They're the rules. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. And let's start with that, shall we? Those 3 digits have to sum to either 4 or 6. They are 3 digits that seem each other. The minimum I can put is 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 sum to 6. There is no way I could drop those digits to sum to 4. So those are 1, 2, or 3, and they sum to 6. Now this is either a 5 or a 7. This is either a 4 or a 6 because this is a single digit. This is either a 2 or a 4, and this is either a 7 or a 9. But I'm not sure what to do with that yet. These, well, this can't sum to 5. So those 3 digits have to sum to either 5 or 7. But if they were to sum to 5, there's no way I can do that. The minimum I can put in is 1, 2, 3. So there's 7. Now, what do I know they are? They are going to be 1, 2, 4 because the minimum I can put in is 1, 2, 3. I have to increase one of those digits by 1 to get to 7. And if I increase either the 1 or the 2, I'll end up with a duplicate. So they have to be 1, 2, 4. So those are 1, 2, and 4. These have to sum to 14 or 16, but they can't sum to 16 because the only way to sum to 16 is either 7, 9 or 8, 8. And I can't do 7, 9 because that is an 8. So these have to sum to 14. Now, how do I do 14? I could do 9, 5. I could do 8, 6. 9, 5 or 8, 6 are the only possibilities. But that is a 14 clue. Ooh. So what is the minimum I could put here? 3, 5? So the minimum here is 8 with 3, 5. Because 1, 2, and 4 is already gone. So the minimum here is 3, 5. And that sums to 8. So if this was to sum to 8, those would both have to be 0. But if I make them both 1, this can sum to 10. Just. So there's no 1 in either of those. That's a 1. Which means there's no 1 in either of those. That's a 1. That's very cool. And these, I'm not sure, but this is either, hang on, it was either, these summed to 14, so they were either 9, 5 or 8, 6. This is now 8, 6, and this is a 7, 9. because I can't use 9, 5 anymore. Okay. Now this 24 maybe? So it's either 23 or 25. No, I don't know. Well, I know there's a 1 in one of these three, but if this is a 1, even if this summed to 20, those would have to sum to 19, and there's no way I can do it. That is not a 1. So 1 is in one of those two. This 14, maybe I can do the same trick as I did down here, because the minimum here is 4 and... No, it's not quite as good. So if this was to sum to 10, it's 4, 6. If it was to sum to 11... I couldn't use 9, 2 or 8, 3. I could use 7, 4 or 5, 6. Don't think that's it. I've got a 2, 4 pair here. Does that mean anything? So how do I make that 9? I can't use 1, 8. No, I could use 2, 7 with a 2 there and a 7 there. I could use 3, 6 in either order. And I could use 4, 5. But if it's 11, I could use 9, 2 with 2 and 9. 8, 3 in either order. 7, 4 would have to be 4 and 7. And 6, 5 in either... I'm not very good at Little Killer, and that's a problem. If this was 6, it would either be 1, 5 or 2, 4. Sorry, liar puzzles really freak me out. Well... What can... Oh, I can go as high as 7. So 8 and 9 are in here. I can't put 8 onto this. Although if this is 12, it could be 8, 4. But I can't put 9 on here. So 9 is in one of these three. Oh, I'm terrible at these. I don't know where I should be looking. I'm not getting a clear indication of where I should be looking. This was really nice, and I can't see how I repeat that. I don't think it's that. Like, if I don't put a 1 in one of those two cells, this is 2, 3 minimum. This is a minimum 2. So that would be 5, 6, 7. This would have to be a 1 or a 2, but I can do that. And then these... Hang on, can I put 9 here? Then these other 3 would have to sum to 6. Is that possible? Can I put a 9 in any of those? Because if either of those is a 9, this has to sum to 13 or 15. Now, if either of those was a 9, I don't think I could get to 13 because I'd only have 4 to play with in 3 digits. Minimum there is 2, minimum there is 2, I can't do it. Now, what if I need to make them 6 to get to 15? So if this is a 9, this is a minimum of 4, and these would both need to be 1. If this is a 9, this is a minimum of 4, both of those would need to be 1, and neither of them can be. Neither of those is the 9, that's the 9, that's the 7, that's the 9. So now... So where does 8 go? I could put 8 there with 4, though. I know 9 is in one of those. If I put 8 on this, could the other 3 digits sum to 5? Well, the minimum here is 2, 2, and 2. So no, I can't put 8 on here. Right, where's 8 in this box? If I put 8 on here, if this summed to 13, no, okay. If I put 8 in here, this couldn't sum to 13, it would have to sum to 15, and the other 3 digits would have to sum to 7. But the minimum here would be 4. So 8 and 4, minimum, is 11, and these would have to sum to 3. But I can't do that, because I can't put 1 in either of them. So there's no 8 here. There is an 8 in here, which does put 8 in here because I can't put 8 in any of those cells. But 8 here. Now, if this is 10, this is 2, 8, and it can't be. So this is now 12, which is 4, 8. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they must contain a 6. I hope I'm looking at the right thing. I'm making some progress. So, if this is 13, if this is 5, 6, that's 11. Hang on, if this is 6, 7, that's 13 already. If this is 6, 7, these are already 13. So these would either have to sum to 0 or 2, and I can't make this work. This is 5, 6. This is 7. These sum to 11. So these are either double 1, which they can't be. And if it's 15, then those have to sum to 4 without using 1s. So those are both 2. That's a 3, that's a 2. That's a 4, that's a 2. And that sums to 15. That's insanely cool. The 3, no, that doesn't do anything. But 5 is right here now. Oh, the 4 makes that the 8 and that the 4. The 8 looks down, making that the 6 and that the 8. The 4 makes this the 6. The 2 makes that a 4. This is cool. Do I understand what's going on? Not really. So if this is 6, it's 1, 5, and it would be 1 and 5. If it's 8, because I can't put a 1 here. If it's 8, it could be 1, it can't be 1, 7, it can't be 2, 6. So it would have to be 3, 5 in either order. That's not ideal, is it? Is it this 22 now? Can it be 23? Because 23... Well, hang on, it can't be 23. Because 23... The maximum digits you can put in here are 7, 8, 9, and they sum to 24. So in order to make 23, you reduce one of those digits by 1. And if I reduce the 8 or the 9, I get duplicate. So it'd be 6, 8, 9. But it can't be 6, 8, 9 because of that. So this sums to 21. 21 without using a 6. Oh man, I want to grab my calculator. So if I don't use a 9, 8 If I don't use a 9, the highest digits I have are 6, 7, and 8, which sums to that. But I don't have a 6. So it'd be 8, 7, and 5, which is 20. So I need to have a 9 on this diagonal, and it's not there. So the other digits I have must sum to 13, because 22 minus 9 is 13. I can't use 9, 4. The 9 is already used. I could use 8, 5. I can't use 7, 6. This is 9, 8, 5. Which means there's no 5 here. Wait. That's broken. Did I miss an option here? This has to be 5, 8, 9. I can't make 6, 8, 9 to get to 23. So it has to be 21. There must be a 9 on it. Otherwise I need the 6. Have I made a mistake? Because this had to be 4 or 6 and it can't be 4. So, hang on. Okay. So, there must be a 9 on it. The other digits must sum to 13. I can't use 9, 4. I could use 8, 5. I can't use 7, 6. So, this must be 5, 8, 9. How do I make... If it's 6... Oh, I can't use 2, 4. Because I can't make either of those digits 2 or 4. I can't use 1, 5. So, if it's 8... I could do 1, 7. No, I can't use 1, 7. I can't use 2, 6, and I can't use 3, 5. This is broken. I've broken this. It says the digits I've entered are correct. But this is broken. If it's 6... Yeah, it'd have to be 1, 5 or 2, 4, and I can't do that in either of them. I can't do 1, 5... Because of this 5, 8, 9, I can't do 1, 5. If it's 2, 4, I can't do 2, 4 because 2, 4 can't go there. If it's 8, 1, 7 doesn't work because I can't put 1 or 7 there. 2, 6 doesn't work. 3, 5 doesn't work because I can't use 5. So how do I make it? So I've obviously made a mistake in there. If I don't use... So if I made a mistake on the 21, 23, it can't be 23. 23 is 6, 8, 9. It has to be. So it has to be 21. I have to use a 9 because if I don't use a 9, then the only way to do it is 6, 7, 8, and I don't have a 6. Once I use a 9, I need 13. It has to be 5, 8, 9, and now I'm broken. And so I'm checking... Oh, math. Of course, 5, 8, 9 is 22. I'm looking at 21. There must be a 9. No. I'm looking at 22. This is why I hate ambiguous clues. I'm aiming for 21. 21 minus 9 is 12. How do I get to 12? I'm sorry, everyone. I needed to look at a calculator to understand where I was going wrong. So, 21. It can't be 23 because I'd still need the 6. So I'm aiming for 12. I can't use 9, 3. I could use 8, 4. So it could be 4, 8, 9. It could be 7, 5. But I do know this has a 9 on it. So this is either 9, 8, 4, 9, 7, 5. If it's 9, 8, 4, the 4 goes here. This is the 9 and this is the 8. If it's 9, 7, 5... then this is the 9. Well, this is never the 9. Because if it's 9, 8, 4, the 4 has to go here. then I can't put the 9 there, so the 9 goes there and this is the 8 because the 4 has to go there. If it's 975, could I put a 5 there? If I put 9 there, oh, this could go 5, 7. So these would be 9, and then I add 7, 5. Why did I put 8? 7, 5. That's not 7. Hang on, where have I gone wrong? This is 9, 4, 8, or it's 9 with 7, 5, and I can take 7 out of there. Okay. I'm sorry, everyone. This stuff just breaks me. So obviously I've got something fundamentally wrong here. So what have I got in this quadruple? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9. Well, I can't put 8 or 9 here because this has to sum to a maximum of 9. So if this was an 8, these would have to sum to 1. If this is a 9, these would have to sum to 0. So this is not 8 or 9. This is a 3 or a 5. If this is a 5, these would have to sum to a maximum of 4. So these would be 1, 2, and 1, which I think they could be. This can't be a 9, and it can't even be an 8. So this is a 3, 5 pair. This is the 9, and this is an 8, because of the 3, 5 pair, and the fact that, right, now there's no 9 here. These have to sum, there are 21, 9, these have to sum to 12. So they're either 7, 5, or 8, 4. Now, if this is 5, these are 1, 2, and 1. I'm doing this wrong. Okay, let's look here. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now, if this is... That's actually not going to help me at all, is it? Because there's too many options here. Now, if this is a 3, if this was a 20, these could be 8, 9. No, it could still work. Sorry, these ambiguity puzzles really break me. Like, really break me. Because I can't keep the numbers in my head. It assumes that you... These sort of puzzles really just assume that someone can look at these and go, oh, 21 blah, 21 blah, 22 blah. But if you have to cycle through them every time and then keep the results in your head and then go, hang on, what was that and everything? It's just a slow grind. So if this is 9, this can't be a 3 if it's a 9. But if it's... because this would be 3, 6. But if it's 11, this would be 3, 8, and that's fine. If this was a 9, 5, 4 wouldn't work. And if it was 11, 5, 6 doesn't work. So this is not 5. If this is 6, 6, 4, sorry, 6, 3 would work. But, and right, and so that works. And 7, 2 works. So this, okay, so I eliminated one thing out of there. Great. I don't know how I eliminate any of this. Is it literally just pick a diagonal and pray? Like 9 is in one of those 3. 2 is in one of those 2. Eight is in one of those, but I can't put 8 on this diagonal, surely, because then the others would have to sum to a maximum of 1. So 8 is not in there. What's the maximum that could be? It could be 1, 2, it can't be 3, it could be 4 maybe. If this is 4, 3, this would be 1 and 1. So this is 2 or 4. If it was 5, these would have to sum to 1, and that's not going to work. So this is 2 or 4 only. But again, I don't see how that helps me. So what's this? It could be 1, it could be 3, could be 4. I don't think I can go as high as 5, because then this would be 5 and 3, which is 8, and these would have to sum to too low. If this is 4, 3, that's 7. These would have to be 2 and 0. This can't even be 4. This is 1 or 3. Because 4 here would make these sum to 7. These would have to sum to 2, but I've already got a 2 there. This would have to be a 0. So this couldn't even be a 4. Okay. And this, 1, 3, 5. I'm pretty certain it can't be as high as 5, because 5 plus 3 is 8. These would have to sum to 1. So, 5, 3, 8. Yeah, this can't even be a 5. So this is a 1 or a 3. Now, if this is 4, 1... No, I don't get it. So is it this now? If this is 6, this couldn't be 3, 3. So it would be 5, 1. And if this is 7, sorry, if it's 8, this would be 3, 5. So this is 1. So that's a 1, 3, 5 triple. So 1 is in one of those two. So 1 is in one of those two. This isn't a 5 anymore. This isn't a 5 anymore. So these, which had to sum to, because this is a 21 clue, so those had to sum to 12 without 5. So there's no 7, 5 anymore. This is 4 and 8. This is a 2. That's a 7. And this is 1, 3, 5. That's kind of crazy. That's really nice. Tricky to spot though. So this is 2. So if this is 7, these would have to sum to 5, which could be 3, 1, 1. If it's 9, these would have to sum to 7. If this is a 3, can I make, 1, 3, yeah, I've got options. If this is 3, if this is a 3, the minimum here is 3. So I'm at 6, 8. This could be a 1. I can make that a 3. Can I make that a 3? These would be 5. These would have to be 1, 1, which they can't be. So they'd sum to 9. These would be 5. I need 4 here, and I could do 1, 3. Yeah, it all seems to work. Oh. So I just have no idea where to look. Like, do I just spend ages going through what are the options on something like this? If it's 20, this could be 3, 8, 9. Okay. If it's 20, this would be 5. These would have to sum to 15, which I could use 6, right? No problem. If this is 6, these would sum to 14. The problem is when I start hitting things like this and there's just so many options, I don't know where to look. This isn't a 7 anymore. What's being telegraphed here? Is it this now? I could still do 6, I can still do 8. Because there is a 5 on that. So what clues are done? This 14 has its 15. This 5 has its 6. This 11 has its 12. This 6 has its 7. This 8 isn't done. The 22 has its 21. The 7 isn't done. The 5 has its 6. The 3 has its 4. The 8 has its 9. The 15 has its 14. The 6 has its 7. The 9 has its 10. So all of these other clues, I mean, this 10 is what looks most restricted. But if this is a 9, 3 can't go with 6. If it's 11, 3 would go with... okay, so it can't be 3 anymore because 3 would need 8 to go with 11 and I don't have it. So if it's 9, 6 would go with 3, 7 would go with 2. If it's 11, 6 would go with 5, 7 would go with 4. So this is 2, 3, or 5. Okay. Four is in one of those. 7 is not in there. 7's not there. 7's not in there. 7 is in one of those two. So if this is a 7, these would have to sum to either 13 or 15. If they were 15, this would be 6, 9. If they're 13, if this is a 7, these are 6 and 9 because there's no way to make... Oh, I could do... If they're 15, there's no way to do it because I'd have to... Sorry. If this is 7... Sorry, if this is 7 and these sum to 13... I could do 5. No, I couldn't do it because the only option here would be 5, 8. Because 7, if this was 20, I couldn't do 3, 10. I couldn't do 5, 8 because of that, and I couldn't do 6, 7 because I've used the 7. So if this is a 7, these sum to 22 and these sum to 15. And I can't use 3 or 5 again. So if this is a 7, this is a 6. But that's only if... Hang on. So if this is a 7, this couldn't be 13. Right, this can't be a 7. If this is a 7... Oh God, how do I explain this? If this is a 7, this couldn't be 13 because 3, 10 doesn't work, 5, 8 doesn't work, and 6, 7 doesn't work because I've used the 7 here. If it was going for 15 to get me to 22, 3, 12 doesn't work, 5, 10 doesn't work, and 6 would need 9. So I could do 7, and I can't do 7, 6, 9 because that would break that cell. So I could never put 7, 6 here. So this can't be the 7. This is the 7. Now this has to go to 9 with a 2. So this is either 2 if it's 9 or 4 if it's 11, and it can't be. So this is a 2. So now I re-look at this. So these need to sum to 20 or 22. If I'm aiming for 22 without a 7, can I do it? I'm sure I can. 6 would need... Like, if I used 3, I could... Oh, hang on. No, 3, 8, 9 doesn't get me that. It's 20. 5, 8, 9... is 22. So I could do 5, 8, 9. And 6, I would need 7, 9. So that doesn't work. So 5, 8, 9 gets me to 22. But if I'm only aiming for 20, 3, I would need 8, 9. 5, I would need 6, 9. And 6, I would need another 14, which would be 9, 5 or 8. Well, I couldn't use 8, 6 because I've used the 6. Too many options. But 7 is in one of these two now. Can I put 7 here? Sorry, I'm really finding this one uncomfortable. The interesting thing is my testers did this in like 15 minutes, and I have no idea how. Like, I've really no idea how. Hang on a minute. If this is a 1, this becomes a 1. So 1 by Sudoku makes this a 1, and these would sum to 4. And if I add 3, it'd be 7, and if I add 5... So if this is 1, this is 1, this would be 3, this would be 3, and this would be 5. So it'd be 1, 1, 3, because 1, 2, 1, 5 is 11... Sorry, is not... Oh, no, that does work. 1, 2, 1, 5 is 9. That does work. So if this is 1, this is 1. If this is 3... Hang on. If this is 3, minimum here is 3. 3, 3, 2 is 8. If this is a 1, this is a 1. If this is a 3... This can't be a 3, I don't think, because these would sum to 8, and that would blow the total, because this becomes 11, and it can't be. This is always a 1. Sorry, that's 3, 5. This is always a 1, which means that's not a 1, this is a 1, which puts a 1 in one of those two. Not sure how I feel about that. I had a corner pencil mark 5 there, but I think that was an error. 7 comes out of those. 7 is in here with 4. Two is in one of these two. So I need to put 9 and 8 in here. 9 is on this diagonal because of Sudoku. Oh no, not 7. 8 is in here somewhere. I was hoping I'd get more with Sudoku, but I don't. Or maybe I do. 4 is in one of these two. No. 6 is in one of those two. So this can't be 1, 2. It could be 3. It can't be 4. 3, 5. Can't be 6. Can't be 7. Can be 8. So this is just 3, 5, or 8. There is a 9 on that. So if it sums to 20, I need 2 digits that sum to 11, which are either 3, 8 or 5, 6. I'm not following. Two is in one of these two by Sudoku. So is it this? Minimum here is 3. But 13 and 14 with repeat, 13 or 15 with repeat digits with multiple options and stuff. It's just literally sit there with a calculator and try lots of different stuff. What am I missing? This stuff was all really cool. But this box hasn't given me anything I can use. This stuff has too many options. So if it's 9 and I'm going for 20, I need another 11. I can't use 9-2. I could use 8-3. I can't use 7-4. I could use 5-6. So these would be 9-8-3, 5-6, which is what everything is anyway. I can't put 6. So these are 8-3-5-6. Great. Hang on. I can't put 6 here. I can't put 8 here. So this is 3, 5, or 9. Is there a way I can limit that down? Because these sum to 11. These are basically the 8-3 or the 5-6 that doesn't go on here. So this can't be 5 because this would have to be 6. Because these are, if this is 5, this becomes 9-8-3, and this would have to be 6, and it can't be. So this is not 5. So this is either 6-5 or 3-8. Four is in one of those two. This is just hunting for Sudoku. I don't... These are 15. So these sum to either 14 or 15 with almost every digit available. And I can use repeats. These sum to 3. So these have to sum... That digit is that digit. These sum to 3. These have to sum to either 4 or 6. If it's 4, this is 1, this is 3, this is 3, this is 5. 1, 3, 3, 5, no problem. If it's 6 and I go 1, 5, 5, 3, that seems okay. If it's 3, 3, that doesn't work. Okay, so if this is a 3, this can't be a 3. This can never be a 3. If this was a 3, this would have to be... If this is a 3, to make the sum work, this would have to be a 3, and then I can't put a 3 in box 1. This is always a 1. Okay. So there's a 1 in one of those two. That can't be a 1 because of that. This is a 1, which means this isn't a 1, and this is a 1. And even that doesn't resolve anything, because yellow could be here and be 5, or it's here and be 3. Are you kidding me? This is 3, 7, or 9. This is 3, 5, 7, or 9. But these are now 4. So if this is 3, it's 7. And if it's 5, it's 9. This could be easy. It actually didn't resolve anything on this diagonal. But the 7 is now 8. So I can say that the 7... Oh, I had the 7 as done. Oops, I marked that wrong. I marked that one wrong. I don't know this... I marked this one wrong as well. The 3 is done. The 10 is a 9. I don't know anything about the 21 or 22. Actually, did I get an error here where I said it could be... I didn't even look at the 22 case. So I've removed options from here that I shouldn't have. I know there's no 9 in here, but I think this could still be a 5 because I didn't investigate the 22 option. Because if it was... Yeah, there's other options. There's even more options. So I think I had to put the 5 back here because, good God. How long is this video? Good God. I'm nowhere near solving it. I'm nowhere near solving this. I don't even know what I was looking at. Because 22 could be 17 plus 5. So if this is an 8, is it broken? Can I remove 8 from here? I'm basically just picking a diagonal and going, okay, what if? If this is an 8, these would have to sum to 7. I could put a 3 there, 3, 1, 3, and I'm fine. And then I have to put a 3 in one of those two. And so if this is an 8, then these are 9, and these would have to sum to either... Hang on. If I go for 15... If I go for 15... Sorry, if I go for 13, and these were 9, these would have to sum to 4. So 3 and 1. I couldn't do that, because they'd have to be 3 and 1. If I went for 15 and these were 9, these would have to sum to 6. I could do 3, 3. I couldn't do 5, 1. So these would be 3, 3. So if this is an 8, this is a 3, and this is a 3. What's the problem with that? This would be a 3. So that would be a 3. So this would be 8, 3. And these would be 5, 6, and 9. 5, 6, and 9 is 20, which is perfectly reasonable. So I can't even eliminate on this 14 diagonal the highest option. Does it mean that that can't be a 7? Because if that's a 7, these either have to sum to 6, which I can't do, or 8. If this is a 7, can I make these sum to 8? I don't think I can make those sum to 8, because 3, 3, 1 is only 7, which isn't 15. And if I make these different, 3, 5, I'm already at 8, and the 1 doesn't count. That's not the 7. This is the 7. So this is 3, 5, 9. That's really weird. Now, if this is 9, these would have to sum to a maximum of 6, and I can't do it. So it's not 9. This is 3, 5. This is the 9. This isn't the 9. And these are the same digit. I don't know that that's helping me at all. So these sum to either 12, by 12 or 14. So I could do 8, 6, or... Hang on. So there's no 3 on them. No, if they're 20, they sum to 11, and it could be 8, 3. So, far out. They sum to either 11 or 13. So 8... If they're 11, 8, 3, 5, 6, this couldn't be 3, but if they're... So this can't be a 3, is what I'm getting. Because these have to sum to 11 or 13, and I can't put a 3 there and make that work. This is not a 3. So this is a 5 or an 8. So it's either 5, 6, 8, 3, or if it's 13, I can't do 5, 8, so this would be 8, 5. So this can't be a 3 either, can it? Yes, 3, 8 works. 5 would go with 8 to get to 13, and 6 would go with 5 to get to 11. So all of that is possible. But this is now 4, 7, 9. So 8 is in one of those two by Sudoku, and that's not an 8. Can I narrow that down anyway? Did that put any more pressure on this? If this is 8, if this is 9, the minimum here is 6, which is fine. This would become the 3 then. And then that would be a 3 and that would be a 3. This would be a 5. This would be a... No, that doesn't... Oh my God. Okay, so if this is an 8... So if this is an 8... I'm going to use red. If this is an 8, in order to keep this 9 down to 15, both of those become 3. But if that becomes a 3, that becomes a 3. This becomes a 5, which means this becomes a 5, which means this becomes a 3. And now where do I put 3 in this box? I can't put it... This 3 knocks out that one. This is an 8, and that 3 knocks out that one. So this cannot be the 8. This is the 8. That is crazy. So this is 3, 5, 6. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, and 8 going to there. There's no 2 there. There's no 4 there. But these are 17. So this is either, if it's 20, it's 3. If it's 22, it's 5. There's no 6 here. This is a 3, 5 pair. This is a 6. 6 is in one of those two. Can I do this now? I don't know. Because can these be the same? Do I have to run that colouring again? This is... I'm basically colouring for 5s. If this is a 5, this is a 5. Okay, so... It's not going to work, though. If these are both 3, that becomes a 3, that becomes a 3, that becomes a 3, so that becomes a 5, that becomes a 5, that becomes a 5, and everything looks okay. So, can those be the same, I suppose, is the question. That would be yellow. That would be yellow. Well, so what could this be? If this is 13, these would have to be, one of these would have to be a 3. If it's 15, I think still one of them has to be a 3, because if this is 5, 5, these would have to sum to 5, and I can't do 1, 4. So one of those is a 3. But so what? If this is 7 now, if this is a 6 and a 1, if these are 13, those would have to sum to 7, and they can't. Wait a minute. So if this is a 6, these would sum to 7. If this is a 13, those would have to sum... Oh, no, they're 3, 3 to get to 13. So, okay, I don't get this puzzle. Okay, what about this diagonal then? Let's get rid of all of this. I'm literally just picking a location and going for it because I don't actually understand what I'm doing. Those 3 digits there sum to 14 plus 8 is 22. So these digits, if it's 28, they sum to 6. If it's 30 minus 22, they sum to 8. So there's no 9. So if they sum to 6, how would I do it? I couldn't use 1, 5. I couldn't use 2, 4. I couldn't use 3, 3 because neither of these would be 3. So they don't sum to 6. So this is a 30 total, and these sum to 8. 1, 7 is not possible. 2, 6 is not possible because I can't put 2 in either of them. 3, 5. Well, I can't use 4, 4. So these are 3, 5 because I can't use 4, 4 because 4 sees both of them. This is a 3, 5 pair. And that 3, 5 pair makes this 6 and this 5, which makes this 3 and this 5, which makes this 3 and this 5, which takes 5 out of those. This is a 3, 6 pair. But the 3, 5 looks down, making that 6 and that 3. That's really cool when you figure out where to look. This is so hard. 1, 2, and I know comments are going to be, I solved this in 12 minutes. Great, congratulations. These are 4 and 6, and there's a 6 looking up. So that's the 4, that's the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 7 and 9. Now, this is a total of 10. So this is either 3 or 5. It doesn't actually help me. But these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. This is a 6, 9 pair. So the 14 is done. Whichever digit goes in there actually resolves it. And I think it's the same with the 8. The 8 is done. Whichever digit goes in there resolves it. So these had to sum to 8. So they're different. So if this is yellow, this is blue. They have to be different. So this is blue, this is yellow, this is blue, this is yellow. Is that going anywhere? This 4 takes 4 out of there. This 4 takes 4 out of there. This is a 4. This is a 7, 9 pair, meaning this is a 7, 9 pair. This is a triple. 2, 5, 8. There's no 2 there. There's no 8 there. There's no 5 there because of the 3, 5 pair. What do I need in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are only from 2, 5, 6. There's no 2 there. These triples. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. There's no 4 there. Actually, I'm going to check. There's no 4 there. Yeah, that's the corner marks just told me that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9. There's no 7 there. So that gives me a 6, 9 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 2, 3, and 8. So this is a 3, 8 pair, meaning that's a 2. So is it this I want to look at now? Because these have to either sum to 20 or 24. If this is a 2, can I make that work? These would have to sum to 18. The thing is, they're high digits. Like, I could make them 7, 8, 9. So there's possible some combinations that wouldn't work, but I'm just sitting there doing, like, if it's this, this, then it could be this, this, or this. It's this, this, it could be this. I'm not solving anything. So the 29 is done once those are different. The 14 is done with either value. Okay, let's look at the 23. These. So this is 7, 14, 19. So this is either If it's 23, it's a 4, and it can't be. So it's got to be 25, which means this is a 6, which means this is a 9, and this is a 7. The 6 makes this 9 and this 6. Can I do more Sudoku? 6 is right here, taking 6 out of there. This is diabolically tricky. The only clue I haven't done now, I just did the 24, didn't I? I just did the 24. I did, right, so I've done the only clue I haven't done now, understanding these are different, this 22 clue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 7, 8, 9 go into here. So this is an 8 or a 9, and this is 2, 7, or 8. So these are 8. Those are 8. So on that diagonal, I need either 21 minus 8 is 13 or 15. No, that can't be right. 21... Yeah, 13 or 15. So I have to make these digits in green sum to either 13 or 15. Now, if this is a 2, how would I make those? Actually, let's do it this way. If this is an 8, if this is 13 or 15 is what these need to sum to. I'm going to write this down. These need to sum to 13 or 15. Is that right? 22 minus 8. 21 minus 8 is 13. 22 minus 8 is 15. 23 minus 8 is 15. These need to sum to 13 or 15. If this is an 8, 8, 7, I'm already at 15. This can't be an 8. This is a 2. This is a 5. This is an 8. The 5 makes that 2, which takes 2 out of there. Right. Now, these are 10. So these need to sum... So the green digits need to sum to either 11 or 13. So it's 11 or 13 in these digits. If this is an 8, the minimum is 15. That doesn't work. This is a 4. And now the total is done. Because whichever value that is, that will work. So the 22 is now done. And I am now just down to Sudoku. Wow, I'm really struggling with this puzzle. So this becomes 8. This becomes a 9. Which means this is a 7, this is a 9. The 7 makes this an 8, which makes this the 3, this the 8, this the 4, which makes this the 3. The 3 makes yellow 5, which makes blue 3. I can get rid of all of the colouring. I'm so sorry for everyone that I struggled so much with this puzzle, but this is really not my thing. 5 and 7... And that is the correct solution. It took me over an hour to solve this puzzle. I'm really sorry, Akash, but ambiguity puzzles are really not my strong suit, and Little Killer is something I've been trying to improve on. But an ambiguity Little Killer, everyone in the comments is going to be faster than me. Absolutely everyone. I am really sorry. This is a retro puzzle that I really struggled with. But knowing that there was an ambiguity puzzle from that far back, because I remember, I think it was, I can't remember when it was, but there was this huge push in late 2021 for like, oh my lord, constraints could be telling you fibs, and everyone was like, oh, how novel. And it's like, no, these things have been around for a lot longer than we've been giving them credit for. It's just no one called them out. I love that the fact that this puzzle existed back when it did. It was just my weakness. This puzzle was my kryptonite. I've taken longer on puzzles. I'm really happy that I got through it, but I'm just really sorry I struggled, everyone. Yeah, beautiful puzzle, but wow. Whew. I'm actually proud of the fact that I got through that in over an hour. Like, I really am. And anyone who gets stuck and I can help them out. I'm sorry I made mistakes. I know that makes it hard for people who use my guides to get through. I'm really sorry, but it is what it is. Thank you everyone for watching. Not that I think many people will have got this far because I didn't do great. I acknowledge that. I'm human. I'm not a Sudoku solving machine. There are computer programs for that. Thank you everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving. I sure needed some today.